record button. This is under syllabus or not? That you let me know. Chapter 6 is under syllabus or not? Chapter 6.
Sir, ma'am, I did not get syllabus. I did not.
Biology syllabus you haven't got.
No, sir.
Okay, so which chapter has been covered in the class? That you let me know. Chapter 5 has been
Sir.
completed in the class.
Yes, sir. Completed. All questions are and fill in the blanks.
Okay, and next chapter, and which are the more chapter which has been completed in the class?
So 4.
4 and 6. 4 and 5.
Yes, sir. Only 4 and 5.
Om Kumar Singh, do you know the syllabus of biology?
No, sir, I don't, because I was absent.
Oh, you were absent. So biology syllabus you did
Yes,
not
sir.
got. So do you know, is it under syllabus or
sir.
not? Chapter 6 under syllabus or not?
Sir, I didn't know.
You don't know. No,
So
no.
give me 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, you find out and let me know. Play your video, Shah Faisal.
Yes, sir.
Play your video.
Sir, I'm saying syllabus. Compass care, sir.
Okay, check and let me know.
Sir, biology half yearly syllabus, ma'am send it compass care.
Biology syllabus you already have got in campus care.
Yes, sir.
So let
3,
me know.
4, 5 and simple test paper 1.
3, 4, 5 and simple test paper 1.
Yes, sir.
3, 4, 5. Okay, let me check. And simple test paper 1 also. Someone is calling. Hello.
So biology syllabus is 3, 4, 5.
I have told, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Someone was calling me. Okay, 3, 5 and simple test paper 1.
So 3, 4, 5 and simple test paper 1.
Let me check. 3, 4, 5 and simple test paper 1. The cell, then the human digestive system and the respiratory system. And
Yes.
sample it is written. You are saying simple. Sample test paper 1. It is written sample test paper 1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in which chapter you people have problem, that you let me know.
So you did
Respiratory
not,
system.
sir.
Respiratory
So you did
system
not
I have
study.
completed.
Yes, sir. But you, sir, you did not started.
Which one? Which chapter?
Sir, chapter 3. Cell.
The cell. The cell, you
Yes,
haven't
sir.
got the concept in the class. Om Kumar Singh, cell
Yes, sir.
chapter you have understood.
Yes, sir.
So anything left, anything left in biology that you let me know?
So thought, can you please chapter 3, then I will understand more.
What? Chapter 3, the cell.
Yes, sir.
So he was telling you study. You taught me chapter 3. I have studied more.
Okay, in fill in the blank. Okay, let us start. Then we will not waste our time and let guess the concept again. Then let me open on the screen that book. Hmm. 1 minute.
यार हमको भी सर्दी खांसी हो गया रे.
Okay. Now any problem? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, let me open.
So I am going by the
Okay, you bring your book. Cell is a very, very important chapter also. Let us try to get the concept of cell today. Just listen, I will explain one by one. First, make yourself comfortable. First, make yourself comfortable. Don't move because that sound is producing and it's disturbing me. Okay.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we have got this chapter. The name of this chapter is written the cell. The tiny or the smallest unit in our body, that is called cell. So here we have got key concept. This yellow box are you seeing here? This yellow box you are seeing here?
Green.
Yes, this green box. In this green box, this is the main key points are written here. Some main key points are written here, means what are the important things we are going to study in this chapter. First of all, we are going to about the plant cell. Point 1 is written plant cell. We human beings have cell in the same way. Plant also has cell. So about plants, about plant cell, cell organelles and their functions. Then animal cell, cell organelles and their functions. Diagram of plant and animal cells. Then only the following to be included. Cell wall means in this chapter, when we will go deeper, when we will go deep to understand this chapter, so we will study about cell wall, cell membrane, plastids. Yes, tell me.
So sometimes your voice is not coming clearly.
Now you will not face because now I have kept microphone in my hand. So now you will not face any
Yes, sir.
problem. Okay, now you are facing, no, you are not facing now any problem.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Okay, very good. Then only the following to be included. Only the following to be included means only these things we are going to study in detail. What is that? What are those? They are cell wall, cell membrane, plastids, nucleus, vacuole, cytoplasm, their structure and functions. Then differences between plant and animal cells. So let us begin first. The cell, the basic unit of life. Here it is written cell, the basic unit of life. What does that mean? Means in human body or in animal plants, there are very small or basic things are there, very tiny, that is called cell. Let us understand over here in detail. It is written here clearly. You will understand with the examples when during this passage. The world is made up of living and non-living things, that we already know. The whole world is made up of living and non-living things. Living things are human beings, animals, and plants, and non-living things, rest of the things are there, non-living things, whatever you see around your home, around your school. The body of all the living things is made up of very small microscopic unit called cell. So the body of all living things is made up of very small microscopic unit called cell. So the body of all living things, whether human beings or plants or animals, so whatever their bodies has been made up, they are made up of very small microscopic. Very small is written, then comma microscopic is also written. Microscopic unit means which you cannot see with your open eyes. You have to, for seeing that, you have to, you know, you have to get that microscope, then you can see the cell. Cell is very small, very tiny particles in our body, that is called cell. So if someone will call you, if someone will tell you, someone will ask you the definition of cell, so you can say the very tiny part or the very microscopic unit in our body is called cell. Very simple. In that way also you can say, or else you can say the in the book what is written here, the body of all living things made up of very small microscopic unit called cell. You can say only very small also, but in the book it is written microscopic. Microscopic means too small, very small, which you cannot see with your own eyes. You can generate, you can make your own definition also, like that. You can say like that also. The body of all living things is made up of very small, which we cannot see with our open eyes. That is called cell. Okay. So the body of the all living things made up of very
Yes, sir.
small particles or very small microscopic unit called cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Means whatever our body, hands, then chest, stomach, whatever it is made up of, it is made up of very small cell. Each and every cell is working in our body. A cell undergoes repeated division to give rise to an organism. Okay, a cell undergoes repeated division to give rise to an organism. So whatever the organisms are there, like we human beings, animals and plants, cell undergoes with repeated division to give rise. Just because of the cell, we all the organisms rise. Each cell perform a specialized function in the body, and whatever the cells are there in our body, each cell perform a specialized function in the body. Like the cells of the retina. Retina means in our eyes there is retina. Okay, in our eyes there is retina. So each cell performs a specialized function in the body, like the cells of the retina of human eye convert the light striking on it into electric signals that are relayed to the brain. My God. Retina cells works like that. How it works, it is written here. Like the cell of retina of human eye, like the cell of retina of human eye, you know that in our eyes, all the human beings have eyes, and in the eyes they have retina. Retina, you know? Retina, you know?
Yes.
Okay, so in the retina cell, how it works? Human eye convert the light striking on it into electric signal. When we get light from sun, so it changes the cell of the retina into electric signal. Then it provides our mind to the brain. These signals are then translated by brain into the images that a person sees. Then that signal change into images. Then we can see that this is door, and this is mobile, this is curtains, this is t-shirt, shirt. Then we can see, otherwise we cannot see. So these kind of things are going on in our mind, in our retina. Means all the cells are working properly at their places in a proper way, and these things are going on very very fast. We simply are sitting, we simply are sleeping, walking, but so many things are going on in our body. Therefore any function performed by the body is due to the activity of cells of body. So whatever the body parts is working, just because of the cells. If cell will not work properly, then you will not work also properly. Suppose this is our hand. If the cells of hand stop working, so our hand will not work. So the cells of each part of the body, the cells of each part of the body is working properly. If they will stop working, we will not work. We will not be able to any. We will not be able to perform any task or any activities. The cells are also called building blocks of life. That's why cells are also called building blocks of life. Means this is the main life, this is the main building blocks of life. So that was the definition of cell. If someone will ask you what is cell, you have to say only the body of all living things is made up of very small or microscopic unit called cell. How will you say? You learn it here only. That is very very easy. What is cell? The body of all living things is made up of very small microscopic unit called cell. So whenever I will ask you, you have to say like that, or else you can make your own answers, but that should be correct. Now discovery of the cell. Who discovered the cell? Humans are living on earth thousands of years ago. Okay, you listen. Humans on earth living thousands years ago. Okay, but nobody was knowing earlier that we have cells, or our body is made up of cells. So who discovered at first time? So let us study about that. Who discovered cells? The cell is very minute, and thus was not discovered before the invention of microscope. Oh, earlier until microscope was not discovered, we were not knowing about cell. When microscope was discovered, when it was invented, then people came to know that, oh, we have cell also in our body. So the cell is very minute, and thus was not discovered before the invention of microscope. Microscope is a device used to see objects not visible to naked eyes. Naked eyes means open eyes. So this is the definition of microscope. If someone will ask you what is microscope, then you have to say microscope is a device to see the object which is not visible to naked eyes or open eyes. You can say open eyes also, or naked eyes. So microscope will help you to see the things which are not visible with our open eyes. If we are seeing our hands, there is nothing in our hand. There is nothing. You can see there is nothing in our hand. But if you will see with the help of microscope, then you will see so many germs are there. if I have touched the desk, if I have touched this mobile and I have kept it, means so many germs are there, but they are not visible. If you will see this hand or your hand or someone else's hand or something else, if you will see with the help of microscope, then you will be able to see a tiny germs, very small germs are there, which we have, that cannot be visible with our open eyes or naked eyes. So microscope is very, very helpful to see those things which are not visible with our open eyes. It was Antony van Leeuwenhoek. My God, the name pronunciation is, let me check the pronunciation, because the name is written something.
Sir,
1 minute.
sir, you
Leeuwenhoek pronunciation. Okay. Leeuwenhoek. Okay, it says Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek. How will you say? Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Antony van
Anthony
Leeuwenhoek. This is the general knowledge question also. If someone will ask you who discovered the cell, so you have to say Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek. Antony van, yes, Antony van, yes, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. But you have to write the name, the spelling of the name, that should be correct. You easily will be able to say that Leeuwenhoek or Antony van Leeuwenhoek, but when you will write it down, you have to write with correct spelling, Otherwise, your marks will be cut. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it was Antony van Leeuwenhoek, 1632 to 1723. So Leeuwenhoek born at 1632 and he died 1723. So I have also kept the name in my mind, Leeuwenhoek. So Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who first developed a simple microscope which is made up of a single biconvex lens. Antony van Leeuwenhoek, he first discovered the microscope which is made up of a single biconvex lens. These days, when we see the microscope, in that so many lenses are there, at least 3 lenses are there. So, but at first, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, he discovered single biconvex lens. He used it to see the blood cells in the capillaries of frog's foot. So first he used to see the capillaries of a frog's foot. He identified them as living units of living beings. Then he identified as living units of living beings. After Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke came. Robert Hooke, who born at 1635 and died 1703. So Robert Hooke, an English scientist. English scientist means he was from England, means Britain. Robert Hooke, an English scientist, coined the term cell. First of all, he coined the term cell. He used these words. He used the word cell, Robert Hooke, to explain the basic unit of life. In 1660, Hooke developed a compound microscope which was made up of 2 lenses. See, after Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke came, and Robert Hooke also discovered microscope with 2 lenses, and Leeuwenhoek discovered at first microscope with 1 lens, one biconvex lens. So this may also come in your fill in the blanks, true, false, match the following. That Antony van Leeuwenhoek discovered 1 lens microscope that is called biconvex, and Robert Hooke discovered, Robert Hooke discovered two-lens microscope. Okay, he developed a compound microscope which was made up of two lenses. He used this microscope to see a thin slice of a dead cork. In this slice, he observed some honeycomb. Some honeycomb means madhumakhi ka chatta, like structures, and named them cells. And he named them cells. Now you can see the picture also here. I have made it large in the book. This is the honeycomb. Okay, and it is looking like a cell. So honeycomb like structure of cell. So he named the this honeycomb as cell. Come to at page number 42. Come to at page number 42. Come to at page number 42. The word cell is derived from a Latin word, cellula. See, this word cell has come from the Latin word. Actual name of cell is cellula, which means a small compartment. Cellula means a small compartment. With the word cellula that word cell has come from, which means a small compartment. So this is also important. You underline this word. The word cell is derived from a Latin word cellula, which means a small compartment. You underline. This one is important. The word cell is derived from cellula, which means a small compartment. Thus, it was Robert Hooke who first discovered and named cell. So it was Robert Hooke. So if question will come, who named the cell? So you have to write Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke named the cell. Thus, it was Robert Hooke who first discovered and named cell, not Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Not Antony van Leeuwenhoek. It was Robert Hooke who first discovered and named cell. Who first discovered and named cell. So this line also you have to underline. This is important. You underline. Okay. Now let us understand cell theory. We have cell theory also. Very important and very interesting chapter is going on. Much advancement in development of microscopes took place in the next 2 centuries. So first Leeuwenhoek discovered the microscope 1 lens. Then Robert Hooke with 2 lens. Then after 2 centuries, means after 200 years, in 1838, German scientist Matthias Jacob Sheldon used microscope to observe different parts of plant. He found that those parts of the plant were made up of cells. Another German scientist, Theodor Schwann, used microscope to study different parts of animals and found that these two were made up of cells. An important statement made by him was, all life process take place inside cells. So this may come in your exam, that who made this statement? All life processes take place inside cells. Who made this statement? Theodor Schwann used microscope. Theodor Schwann used microscope to study different parts of animals and found that These two were made up of cells. An important statement made by him was all life processes takes place inside cells. After 50 years, a German scientist, Rudolf Karl Virchow discovered that a cell divides to form new cells. Cell also divide in itself. On the basis of these remarkable findings, the basic features of modern cell theory states that all living things are made up of one or more cells. Number two, cells are the basic structural and the functional units of all living beings. All cells are basically the same in chemical composition and metabolic processes. All new cells arise by the division of pre-existing cells. Number, shape, and size of the shell. So some shape, size, and number of the cell given here in this picture, and with the help of microscope this picture has been taken, otherwise these cells are not visible. You see, cells differ greatly in their shape, size, and number. Some living organisms such as amoeba. Amoeba spelling is Amoeba. It is written amoeba, but you have to read it as amoeba. What will you pronounce it? Amoeba. How will you pronounce it? Amoeba. Amoeba. So amoeba are composed of one cells and are called unicellular organisms. So amoeba composed one cell only. So those who composed only one cell, that is called unicellular organisms. Large organisms such as elephant, human tree, etc. are composed of millions of cells and are called multicellular organisms. So we are multicellular organisms, but amoeba has only one cell. You understood, Om Kumar?
Yes, yes, sir.
Amoeba has only one cell. So that's why amoeba is called unicellular organism. And we human beings, trees, animals are composed with millions of cells. That's why we are called multicellular organisms. Table 3.1 shows the diversity in cells in terms of number, shape, and size. So here you can see this picture. This is a fibroblast and epithelial cells, red blood cells, skeletal muscle cells. In skeletal, we have this kind of cell in our skeletal system, means in our bone. Then in our blood, we have this kind of red blood cells. Then fat cells, smooth muscle cells, amoeba. See, this is the picture of amoeba. So amoeba is important when you will go in higher classes. So again, you further will study about amoeba in detail in 9th class. When I was in 9th class, I have studied about amoeba in a very detailed way. And we used to get the question that draw the picture of amoeba and label the names of. So here, this is a picture of amoeba, the nerve cell, then this is sperm cell. So the structure of the cell is completely different to each other, different shapes of cells. And one important question is written here. Did you know the branch of biology that deals with the study of cells is called cytology? See, in biology, there is a branch in which you will study about only cell, and only cell. So that is called cytology. What is it called? Cytology. Yes, cytology, like biology.
Cytology.
Yes, biology, cytology. So in cytology, you will study about only cell only. Now come to at page number 43.
43.
Number, shape, and size of cells. Number of cells. So how many numbers of cells are there and how we decide? Let us study. One celled or unicellular. Those who have only one cell, that is called unicellular. Organisms with one celled body such as amoeba, then chlamydomonas and paramecium. Amoeba, chlamydomonas and paramecium has only one cell. If I will ask you, give me the example of one cell organism. If I will ask you, give me one cell organism, so you have to write these name: amoeba, chlamydomonas. Okay, you will pronounce it as chlamydomonas. Then paramecium. Amoeba, chlamydomonas, and paramecium has only one cell. Only one cell. Then multicelled or multicellular organisms with many cells in the body, such as elephant, rose, tiger, human, insect, birds. They have millions of cells. That's why they are called multicellular. Then shape of cells. How we decide the shape of cells? Irregular. First of all, we have irregular shape. They lack fixed shape. For example, amoeba. Amoeba have no shape. Some amoeba like that, some amoeba like that. It is like that only. So then we have oval. Oval shape means like an egg. Ande ke aakar ka. So organisms with oval shaped cell, for example, chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas like an oval shape, like an egg. Then oblong. Organisms made of oblong cells such as paramecium. Then elongated. These are elongated contractile cells such as muscle cells. Then thread-like means like a dhaga. So cells are thread-like. For example, nerve cells. In our nerves, we have the nerve cells. Then size of cells. How we decide the size of cells? Mostly cells are microscopic. Microscopic means we cannot see with our open eyes. So an average cell size range from 3 to 30. What is the symbol of this one? 30 unit. 3 to 30 unit in human body. Red blood cells are the smallest. In human body, red blood cells are the smallest cells. You can underline this one. First of all, the average size of the cell. This is important. You underline. Underline. Why are you sitting? Underline this one. An average cell size range from 3 to 30 unit in human body. Then red blood cells are the smallest. They are 0.1 unit in diameter. The bacterial cell is the smallest cell, which measures about 0.2 unit to 0.5 unit. The length of an ostrich's egg is about 23 centimeter. An elephant's nerve cell is the longest cell, that is 3 meter. These whole lines are important. Size of cells are important. This whole are important here. Here, this whole are important. This whole are important. Okay. Okay, now listen. Now this class is going to end. This class is going to end. Then you touch this link only. You understood?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
40 minutes have passed away. 20 minutes more we will study, at least 1 hour. Then we'll stop. Okay.
yes.
Then you click in this link again. Now it is going to end. It is going to end. It will be end.